2 years ago, I was a student in England and I was off from university for a month. There was nothing to do during that month. I had made a Tinder profile out of boredom. I wasn't looking for a serious boyfriend, just a distraction. The app was full of men in their 40s, but I came across a cute guy who, according to his profile, was 26. I texted him and we agreed to go out to a bar. I was living in a dorm and shared my room with another girl. She advised me not to go on the date because, in her words, there are all sorts of people on Tinder. I didn't listen to her. The guy was waiting for me at the bar. He was quite friendly and funny, but something about him bothered me. Time passed and so did the drinks. When the bar started to empty, he asked me to dance. As we danced, he kissed me. The songs continued, and so did the dancing. The end of the night came and he suggested to go into his place and finish the drinks. I was already drunk and refused him because I felt sick. The next day he didn't text me or answer me. A week went by, then a month, and then 3 months. I had to go back to my hometown because my semester was over. I had strange pains in my mouth and abdomen for those 3 months. I went to get examined, and when I got the results, I was asked, "Have you kissed anyone recently?" I replied, "About 3 months ago." Then the doctor said something I will never forget. "We found a bacteria in your mouth that is only found in cannibals. If you remember the person's name, report it to the police immediately." And that's what I did. A week later, the police came to my house and told me that they had arrested the boy and found the bodies of 2 girls in his freezer. I was in shock. If I had gone to his home, I probably would have ended the same way. Student life. Good life. I was in my final year at university and was preparing for exams. My days were pretty busy, and because of that I couldn't see my girlfriend often. I could only see her once a week. She didn't like that. She and I love each other very much and even have the same phone. But I suspected her of cheating on me. But right on my exams, I didn't want to think about it. My free time of the week came and the 2 of us went out for coffee. We didn't have an active conversation. When I did see her, we agreed not to text on our phones and we left them on each other. She brought up the subject again about us not seeing each other enough. We kept having this argument, but she didn't understand the situation. I got angry, picked up the phone and left. On the way home, I realized I had taken hers, but it was too late because I was away. She and I agreed to return it to her the next day before my exam. I took a picture of myself with her phone while I was driving because I know she enjoys seeing me unexpectedly. But while I was taking the picture, I got a text from Tinder. It was an appointment with a guy. I was furious. She had already made arrangements with him to see him that evening. I wasn't going to leave things like that and decided to go to the arranged place. It was a strange turnoff outside of town with no lights at 11 p.m. Then, about 10 minutes before the arranged appointment, she came. She got out of her car and waited. Then I saw a white van approaching in from the distance. It stopped in front of her car and a tall man got out. I was ready to get out and stop them in their tracks. But then something unexpected happened. The man pulled a rag out of his pocket and gagged my friend. Another man came out and the 2 of them kidnapped her, after which they took off. I went after them, but with my headlights off. I called the police and reported the kidnapping. After about 3 miles, there was a patrol car and stopped the van. They arrested the men and told me there were cameras and instruments of torture in the van. These guys were dealing with red rooms in the deep web, apparently. If I hadn't gone to the meeting, they probably would have used my girlfriend for their perverted shows. I met a guy on Tinder named Theodore, who I went out to the bar with a few times to get to know. We'd text and hear each other, but neither I nor he would take things further. One night, he invited me to his house, and I went. When I was in the address, I rang the doorbell a few times. but no one answered. I waited 5 minutes, but there was no sign of a person in the house. Just before I turned and left, the door opened and I saw him. He was grinning from ear to ear with bloody red eyes. I was worried. He invited me in. Big mistake. He locked up after me. My worry grew with his every move. He led me into his living room and I noticed syringes and other substances on the table. He said to me, "We're going to have a good time tonight." I told him I don't use such things and he got angry, so I set an alarm on my phone to fake a call and leave. The alarm rang and I pretended to pick someone up and walked away. When I returned to him, ready to tell him I had to go, he had already taken his dose and was holding a second in his hand. He got up and walked towards me, but he was unsteady. He tried to inject the substance into me, but as he swung, he lost his balance and fell to the floor and couldn't get up. So I called the police. When they arrived, they broke down the door and arrested Theodore. And after that incident, I deleted the app and became more careful in my introductions to strangers. If you have experienced similar paranormal activities, share them to our email or the comments below. If you found this video interesting, please like it and share it.